Hello guys, I wanted to show y'all something I was planning on doing. I'm going to check to see if it works. This was a different way of using sort of like a stencil but with dried royal icing. First of all, Mother's Day is coming up in in May, which gives me plenty of time to kind of plan and think things through about what I want to do. Anyway, I wanted to try doing a picture, and I cannot draw, and my writing is really bad. So I found a picture on Facebook. I'm sorry, not Facebook, but Google. I Googled the picture, and all I did was Google pics, mom, and coloring pages, and this was one of the options. So as you can tell, it's really to be. This is the cookie I'm going to use, my Platt cookie cutter. And as you can tell, it's way too big for the. So I got my husband to make it a little bit smaller. Y'all can see that through this paper. And my cookie cutter fits just inside that, or the paper, words fit just inside the cookie cutter. See? So that's the plan. Now, to make sure it fits. Now, you can buy this netting. Y'all can see that at most any place that sells fabric, and I use it for airbrushing and things like that. And I'm going to say that I'm very new to airbrushing as well. So, you know. Anyway, and you can buy one of these hoops. And you buy them in different sizes. This is I guess about a medium size hoop. And we're going to fit some of this netting around this. And clamp that down. I'm going to try to make it a little bit closer to the edge so I'm not wasting so much of it. Just going to make sure that the netting is straightened out up underneath there. No, you cannot see that. Sorry about that. Let's try that again. Alright, so I'm just going to, this is the netting. I'm going to, you can buy, I bought it, I think, at Joann's, but you can buy it pretty much anywhere, I guess, where they sell fabric. It's very cheap, and you can also wash it. So if you use it for airbrushing, well, then you can just wash it and reuse it, multiple times. We're going to fit the hoop down over top of the netting and make sure that it's good and tight. And we're going to tighten the little screw up on the hoop, making sure that we're not going to wrinkle up the netting that we've got up underneath there. Nice and tight there. And we're going to just cut the excess off of this, and I'm just going to cut like a square piece and then kind of trim it around because I'm a little anal like that. It has something to do with all the extra fabric, but anyway, so we're just gonna trim off this extra fabric. Of course, that did not work out like I thought it would, and it never does. So I'll put the extra netting aside. And this is some scrap netting we really don't need. You can trim that off or leave it. I like to trim it off. You want to leave a little bit of overhang. I don't have any way to make a stencil. I don't have a Cricut or any other thing to make a stencil with. And I saw this, Julie Usher had done this, and I thought it was really neat. So this is what I'm going to try to do. And I think she had done it over top of a mason jar cookie. Okay, so I've got my paper here with my, you see that? With the lettering I'm going to do. And I'm going to stick my hoop over top of that. Just like that. And I've got some royal icing I've just made up and put in my piping bag and have no tip on there. I did add some, I don't normally add stuff to the icing. I can't remember. Corn syrup. I don't normally add corn syrup to my icing, but I did this time because I feel like that corn syrup is really good for writing. Of course, I might be wrong with that, but so now we're gonna just clip off the tip there of the bag, and we're gonna. The idea is to pipe out the drawing that you see over top of the netting, and we're gonna move it over so I can get all the areas. Now, the flower has 2 different parts to it, or 3 different parts to it. So I'm just going to do the bottom part of the flower. Of course, I think I'm doing this wrong, and that figures that goes with me. So hang on, just I'll be right back. No biggie. We'll just flip the netting around. Sorry about that. Okay, so now we'll try it again. We're going to move this over, and that's where the spot is where I had it flipped over. So we're going to. Anyway, so let's go ahead and try to trace that. Well, my icing is a stiff consistency icing. I don't normally put any kind of flavoring in my icing because the cookies have flavoring in it, so that I don't do. I know a lot of people like flavoring in their icing. Another thing you want to make sure that you have with you are toothpicks, so that you can go around and make up get your icing where you want it to be at, and maybe knock down some peaks. And there's some places that are wider than other places on here, so you want to make sure you get that in there too. And while this is a bit of a time-consuming project, it looked really neat. So that was the reason why I wanted to try it, because it looked really, I know it's crazy, but I like doing things like that. I'm not entirely sure what Julia Usher used. Can't remember what theme she used. I just remember what she was using this for. But I just remember she was doing it on some mason jars. And it might have been Mom on there. I think that's what it was, but I might be wrong about that. Now I'm just taking my toothpick here and trying to go back over where some of the places you want some, make sure your lines are crisp on here on your roll icing, because you're going to go back over. The idea is to go back over and spray using whatever, or paint, you know, spray over what you're leaving here. And if you can't see what I'm doing, I'm just taking the toothpick and I'm just trying to make sure that the lines are filled in properly where the lettering is, and that the edges are nice and crisp and straight. It's sort of like when you're doing a cookie, you're trying to fill in. You want to make sure your lines are good and straight and not jagged. Okay, now I'm not gonna, this one has 2 flowers on it, this pattern, but I'm not going to do 2 flowers on it. I'm just going to do just the one at the end here. Let me see if I can manage to pipe some lines here to finish this little flower off. Not sure how well this is going to do. Like I said, I'm not used to doing stuff like this, but okay, so I'll just do it like that. And I will get y'all a close-up in just a second of what I'm doing here. Okay. Oh, well, okay, so let's try to zoom in. Oh. Now the trick is, or what we're supposed to do now is allow this to dry. So I will come back in a day or two and check this out and have a cookie ready to do, to airbrush, to show you what this is going to be for. Until then, see you later.